Did you know? Studies show that over 70% of men admit being intrigued by women who exude independence and mystery. That's right, Sigma females are turning heads and taking center stage in the world of relationships. But why are Sigma females becoming the ultimate fantasy for men? And what makes them both a challenge and an obsession? Stick around as we dive into the world of Sigma females and uncover the 9 reasons behind this phenomenon. First, let's break it down. Sigma females are the lone wolves of the female archetypes. They're confident, self-sufficient, and unapologetically authentic. They don't crave attention, yet somehow they command it. In a world obsessed with labels, these women stand out because they don't fit the mold. Men can't help but notice them, and that's where the obsession begins. But there are so many misconceptions. Some think Sigma females are aloof or too independent. Others see them as unattainable. But is that the truth? Or is it just fear of their undeniable power? Let's find out as we dive into the first reason men are captivated by Sigma females. Reason number 1. They're mysterious. Here's the thing about Sigma females. They carry an air of mystery that sets them apart. You won't find them oversharing their lives on social media or constantly seeking validation through likes and comments. Instead, they stay low-key, choosing to focus on what truly matters to them. In today's world, where everyone seems to be an open book, Sigma females stand out like a rare, intriguing novel. Men can't help but be drawn to their enigmatic presence. It's not just what they say, it's also what they don't say. Every interaction feels layered, as if there's always more beneath the surface. Think about it. When someone isn't broadcasting their every move or spilling their every thought, it sparks curiosity. Questions flood the mind. What's her story? What are her dreams, her fears? What makes her tick? For men, this sense of wonder can feel like an irresistible challenge, a puzzle they're compelled to solve. But here's the twist. Sigma females don't just hand over the pieces of that puzzle. They reveal themselves slowly, thoughtfully, and only to those they trust. That's what makes their mystery even more captivating. Sigma females don't live their lives for the applause of others. They're not the type to post a play-by-play of their day or update their status with every fleeting thought. This intentional privacy gives them an aura of self-respect and confidence that's undeniably attractive. Men often find themselves caught in a cycle of fascination, trying to decipher what lies beyond her composed exterior. But this is where the challenge comes in. Sigma females won't open up to just anyone. To them, trust is earned, not freely given. And for a man, this makes the process of getting to know a Sigma female even more thrilling and more daunting. Think of it like this. Imagine walking into a dimly lit art gallery. At first, all you can see are the outlines of breathtaking paintings. The closer you get, the more you notice the intricate details that make each piece unique. That's what it's like to be around a Sigma female. She reveals herself in layers, and only to those who genuinely appreciate her depth. But why does this mystery matter so much? It's because people value what isn't easy to attain. Men are used to interactions that are immediate and surface level. Meeting a Sigma female is like discovering a secret garden. You don't just stumble upon it. You earn your way in. That's why so many men find themselves captivated by Sigma females. It's not about playing hard to get, it's about being hard to know. And the more elusive they seem, the more intriguing they become. So, if you're a Sigma female watching this, remember, your mystery isn't something to hide, it's your superpower. It's what keeps people invested in who you are, not just what you do. And for those who are lucky enough to see the real you, the reward is worth every effort. Now, let us know in the comments. Have you ever been drawn to someone's mysterious vibe? Or are you the type to keep people guessing? Share your story below. We'd love to hear it. Reason 2, the take it or leave it attitude. Let's dive deeper into one of the most fascinating aspects of Sigma females, their iconic take it or leave it attitude. This isn't just about being difficult or playing hard to get. It's about authentic self-worth that naturally drives men crazy. You see, in a world where dating games and chase dynamics are so common, Sigma females stand out by completely rejecting these conventional patterns. They don't send mixed signals, they don't play the waiting game with text messages, and they certainly don't pretend to be busy just to seem more interesting. Their approach is refreshingly straightforward. They're genuine about who they are and what they want. What makes this attitude particularly fascinating to men is that it completely disrupts their traditional understanding of dating dynamics. Men are used to being the pursuers, the ones who need to chase and convince. But with Sigma females, this script gets completely flipped. These women aren't interested in being pursued. They're interested in being matched. The most powerful aspect of this attitude is the genuine contentment with being alone. Sigma females don't fear solitude, they embrace it. They understand that their worth isn't determined by their relationship status or how many men are pursuing them. This self-contained happiness becomes incredibly attractive to men, who often encounter women actively seeking relationships or validation. Think about it. When you're truly content being alone, you make decisions from a place of want, not need. This changes everything. You don't tolerate disrespect, you don't settle for less than you deserve, and you don't compromise your standards just to keep someone around. This level of authentic confidence becomes both a challenge and a fascination for men. Men are drawn to this attitude because it represents something rare in today's dating landscape: genuine authenticity. In a world of carefully curated social media personas and calculated dating strategies, a woman who simply is who she is, without apology or pretense, becomes magnetic. The take it or leave it attitude of Sigma females isn't a strategy, it's a reflection of their self-worth and independence. This attitude also creates a natural filter. Men who are intimidated by strong, independent women naturally filter themselves out, while those who are secure in themselves and ready for an equal partnership are drawn in. It's like having a built-in quality control system for potential partners. Remember, this isn't about being cold or unapproachable. It's about being authentic, knowing your worth, and being completely okay with walking away if someone doesn't align with your values. This combination of self-assurance and genuine independence creates an irresistible allure that men find both challenging and deeply attractive. Now, if you're finding these insights eye-opening, wait until you hear about our next point. Reason number 3, they're intellectually challenging. Sigma females are not the kind of women who settle for surface-level conversations. Small talk about the weather or casual gossip. Not their style. Instead, they crave meaningful discussions that spark curiosity, stimulate thought, and dive deep into the heart of complex topics. This trait is one of the key reasons men find them so captivating. A Sigma female doesn't just talk, she engages. She asks thought-provoking questions, offers unique insights, and challenges the person she's speaking with to see things from a fresh perspective. Imagine this scenario. You're on a date with a Sigma female. Instead of the usual, "What do you do for work?" questions, she might ask, "What's a belief you held as a teenager that you've completely outgrown?" Or, "If you could change one thing about how society views success, what would it be?" Now, for many men, this is a game changer. These conversations don't just skim the surface, they force them to reflect, think critically, and engage on a deeper level. And let's be honest, intellectual stimulation can be just as alluring as physical attraction, if not more so. But here's the catch. Dating a Sigma female means you need to keep up. She's sharp, well-read, and constantly learning, which means you need to bring your A game. Sigma females value partners who can hold their own in a debate or introduce them to new ideas. For men, this can be both exciting and intimidating. What makes Sigma females so intellectually challenging isn't just their knowledge, it's their curiosity. They're always questioning the world around them, challenging the status quo, and looking for ways to grow. Men often find themselves inspired by this mindset. It's not just about keeping up, it's about evolving alongside her. But let's not forget, this intellectual depth also means Sigma females have little patience for mind games or shallow interactions. They value authenticity and honesty in communication. If a man tries to impress them with empty bravado or rehearsed lines, they'll see right through it. For men, this can feel like walking a tightrope. On one hand, they're drawn to the Sigma female's wit and wisdom. On the other, they know they can't fake it. They have to be real, open, and willing to grow. And while this might sound daunting, it's also incredibly rewarding. Conversations with a Sigma female aren't just engaging, they're transformative. Men often leave these discussions feeling challenged, but also inspired to think bigger, work harder, or approach life differently. Sigma females don't just talk, they leave a lasting impression. And here's the beauty of it. When a Sigma female chooses to open up and engage with you on this level, it's a sign that she respects your intellect and values your perspective. It's not about winning the conversation. It's about growing together, learning from one another, and building a connection that's as deep as it is meaningful. For men, this can feel like the ultimate challenge. It's not just about impressing a Sigma female, it's about matching her energy, meeting her halfway, and proving that you're as invested in meaningful dialogue as she is. And that's what makes Sigma females truly unforgettable. So, if you're a Sigma female watching this, remember, your curiosity, intellect, and depth are your superpowers. Don't shy away from challenging others to think deeper, because the right people will rise to the occasion. Have you ever had a conversation that changed the way you see the world, or met someone who made you question your own perspectives? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your story. Reason 4. Sensuality. Sigma females are sensual and comfortable in their own skin, and that's what makes them so attractive. Men are drawn to their sensuality and love to explore their desires with them. But what does it mean to be sensual? Being sensual is not just about physical appearance or sex appeal. It's about being fully present in one's body and embracing all the senses. Sigma females are not afraid to indulge in pleasure, whether it's a rich, decadent chocolate cake or a relaxing scented bath. They know how to slow down and savor the moment, and that's what makes them so captivating. Imagine a woman who is confident in her own skin, who knows how to move with ease and fluidity, and who is not afraid to express her desires. She's the kind of woman who will take her time getting dressed, not just because she wants to look good, but because she wants to feel good too. She'll choose fabrics that feel luxurious against her skin, and perfumes that evoke emotions and memories. She's the kind of woman who will cook a meal not just to feed her body, but to nourish her soul. She'll take her time preparing each dish, carefully selecting each ingredient and savoring each bite. That's what it means to be sensual, and that's what makes Sigma females so attractive to men. Men are drawn to Sigma females because they embody a sense of freedom and abandon. They're not afraid to let go and indulge in their desires, and that's incredibly liberating. When a man is with a Sigma female, he feels like he can be himself, without fear of judgment or rejection. He feels like he can explore his own desires and fantasies without worrying about being ridiculed or shamed. Sigma females are not just partners, they're catalysts for exploration and discovery. They inspire men to tap into their own sensuality, to explore their own desires, and to indulge in pleasure. But being sensual is not just about indulging in pleasure, it's also about being present and mindful. Sigma females are not just focused on the physical, they're also attuned to the emotional and spiritual. They know how to create a sense of intimacy and connection, not just through physical touch, but through words, gestures, and energy. They know how to make a man feel seen, heard, and understood. And that's what makes them so captivating. When a man is with a Sigma female, he feels like he's experiencing something truly special, something that goes beyond the physical realm. In a world that's increasingly fast-paced and superficial, Sigma females are a breath of fresh air. They're a reminder that life is not just about productivity and efficiency. It's about pleasure, joy, and connection. They're a reminder that our bodies are not just machines. They're temples that deserve to be honored and celebrated. So if you're a Sigma female, don't be afraid to indulge in your sensuality. Take your time, slow down, and savor the moment. Your body, mind, and spirit will thank you, and so will the men in your life. Reason number 5, they respect boundaries. One of the most powerful traits of a Sigma female is her ability to respect boundaries, her own and those of others. This simple but rare quality sets her apart in a world where boundaries are often misunderstood or ignored. It's not just about saying no or maintaining distance. It's about creating healthy relationships where both people feel respected and valued. Let's break this down. Sigma females have a deep understanding of themselves. They know what they want, what they need, and, equally important, what they don't. This self-awareness allows them to establish clear boundaries that protect their time, energy, and emotional well-being. They're not afraid to say no when something doesn't align with their values or goals, and they don't feel guilty about it. For men, this is incredibly refreshing. Imagine being with someone who isn't afraid to communicate their limits, but does so in a kind, confident way. Sigma females don't play games or test people by pushing boundaries. They simply express what works for them and stick to it. This clarity is magnetic because it removes the confusion that often comes with unclear or inconsistent behavior. But it's not just about setting their own boundaries. Sigma females also respect the boundaries of others. They don't cling, overstep, or try to control their partners. Instead, they honor their partner's independence because they value their own. If their partner needs space, they don't take it personally. If their partner has personal goals or hobbies, they'll cheer them on instead of feeling threatened. This creates a balanced, healthy dynamic that many men secretly crave but don't always know how to articulate. In many relationships, there's a tendency for one person to lean too heavily on the other, which can lead to dependency or resentment over time. With a Sigma female, this isn't an issue. She believes in partnership, not ownership. Think about it. How many relationships have struggled because one person couldn't respect the other's need for independence? Maybe it's constant texting or a lack of trust when one person wants to spend time alone. Sigma females break this cycle. They know that a healthy relationship isn't about being together 24/7. It's about supporting each other's individual growth while building a strong connection. For men, this respect for boundaries can feel like a breath of fresh air. Many men are used to feeling like they have to choose between their personal life and their relationship. But with a Sigma female, there's no need to choose. She understands the importance of both. Let's take an example. Imagine a man who loves playing guitar. In some relationships, his hobby might become a source of tension. Maybe his partner feels neglected or doesn't understand why he spends hours practicing. A Sigma female, on the other hand, would see this hobby as an essential part of who he is. She wouldn't just tolerate it. She'd encourage it because she knows the value of having passions and pursuits outside of the relationship. And this isn't one-sided. Sigma females expect the same respect for their own boundaries. They thrive in relationships where their independence is celebrated, not stifled. Whether it's pursuing a career, enjoying time with friends, or simply recharging on their own, Sigma females are clear about their needs. This balance creates a relationship built on mutual trust and respect. Men often find themselves drawn to this dynamic because it challenges the traditional idea that relationships require constant compromise or sacrifice. With a Sigma female, it's not about losing yourself. It's about becoming the best version of yourself while supporting each other. But let's not confuse respect for boundaries with a lack of care or connection. Sigma females are deeply committed to the people they love. They'll show up for their partners when it matters most, offering unwavering support and understanding. The difference is that they don't smother or control. They give their partners the freedom to be themselves. This balanced approach is what makes Sigma females so alluring. They bring a sense of stability and security to relationships that many men find irresistible. It's not about being aloof or detached. It's about creating a space where both people can thrive individually and together. So, if you're a Sigma female, know this. Your respect for boundaries is a gift. It shows strength, self-respect, and emotional intelligence. And for the men who recognize and appreciate this, it's a game changer. Reason 6, intellectual depth. Now, let's explore one of the most captivating qualities of Sigma females, their remarkable intellectual depth. This isn't just about having a college degree or knowing big words. It's about possessing a mind that sparks curiosity and commands respect. Sigma females stand out in a world where surface-level conversations often dominate. They're the ones who can effortlessly shift a dinner conversation from casual small talk to discussing global economics, philosophy, or the latest technological breakthroughs. What makes this truly fascinating is how they challenge the outdated stereotype that beautiful women can't be intellectually intimidating. These women aren't just turning heads, they're changing minds. Think about those moments when a Sigma female casually drops knowledge about cryptocurrency during a business meeting, or smoothly references classical literature while discussing modern pop culture. It's this blend of intelligence and casual confidence that leaves men both intrigued and sometimes wonderfully uncomfortable. They're forced to step up their game, to bring more to the table than just surface-level charm or basic pickup lines. What really sets their intellectual depth apart is their genuine curiosity about the world. Sigma females don't just accumulate knowledge to impress others. They're authentic learners who are constantly expanding their horizons. They read extensively, engage in diverse experiences, and aren't afraid to challenge existing ideas. This natural thirst for knowledge makes them incredible conversationalists who can discuss everything from ancient history to cutting-edge technology. But here's what really drives men crazy. Sigma females don't downplay their intelligence to make others comfortable. They won't giggle and act clueless when they know the answer. They won't pretend to be less informed just to stroke someone's ego. This intellectual authenticity becomes both their shield and their magnet, repelling those who feel threatened by intelligent women while attracting those who value mental stimulation as much as physical attraction. The way Sigma females engage in debates and discussions is particularly fascinating. They don't argue to win, they discuss to learn. They're not afraid to change their mind when presented with better information, and they respect others who can engage in intelligent discourse. This combination of confidence and intellectual humility creates an irresistible dynamic that men find both challenging and deeply attractive. If you're loving these deep insights about intellectual attraction, just wait until you hear what's coming next. Drop it in the comments if you've ever experienced the power of intellectual connection, and let's move on to our next mind-blowing reason why Sigma females are becoming men's biggest obsession. Reason 7. Authenticity. Sigma females are unapologetically themselves, and that's what makes them so refreshing. Men are drawn to their authenticity and genuineness. In a world where people are often pretending to be someone they're not, Sigma females are a breath of fresh air. They're not trying to fit into someone else's mold or conform to societal expectations. They're not afraid to be different, to stand out and to be themselves, even if that means being unconventional. They're not pretending to be someone they're not, and that's what makes them so attractive. Imagine being around someone who is completely genuine, someone who doesn't put on a mask or pretend to be someone they're not. It's incredibly liberating, isn't it? You don't have to worry about them being fake or insincere. You don't have to wonder if they're really being honest with you. Sigma females are transparent and authentic, and that's what makes them so refreshing. They're not afraid to speak their minds, to share their thoughts and feelings, and to be vulnerable. They're not trying to impress anyone or seek validation from others. They're simply being themselves, and that's what makes them so captivating. Men are drawn to Sigma females because they're tired of the games and the pretenses. They're tired of being around women who are trying to manipulate them or impress them. They're tired of the drama and the stress that comes with dealing with someone who is not being genuine. Sigma females are a welcome change from all that. They're easy to be around because they're not trying to be someone they're not. They're not trying to put on a show or impress anyone. They're simply being themselves, and that's what makes them so attractive. But being authentic is not just about being honest and transparent. It's also about being vulnerable and open. Sigma females are not afraid to show their emotions, to share their fears and doubts, and to be vulnerable. They're not trying to be tough or strong all the time. They're not afraid to be weak and vulnerable because they know that's where true strength lies. They're not trying to control everything or have all the answers. They're simply being themselves, and that's what makes them so refreshing. In a world that's increasingly fake and superficial, Sigma females are a rare gem. They're a reminder that it's okay to be ourselves, to be vulnerable, and to be genuine. They're a reminder that we don't have to put on a mask or pretend to be someone we're not. We can simply be ourselves, and that's enough. So, if you're a Sigma female, don't be afraid to be yourself. Don't try to fit into someone else's mold or conform to societal expectations. Just be you, and that's enough. Your authenticity and genuineness will shine through, and men will be drawn to you like a magnet. Reason 8. Unapologetic desire. Sigma females are unapologetic about their desires and needs, and that's what makes them so captivating. Men are drawn to their confidence and assertiveness. In a world where women are often socialized to be nurturing and selfless, Sigma females are a refreshing change. They're not afraid to express their desires and needs, and they're not afraid to ask for what they want. They're not worried about being seen as selfish or demanding because they know that their desires and needs are valid. They're not afraid to take up space and to assert themselves, and that's what makes them so attractive. Imagine being around someone who is completely unapologetic about their desires and needs. It's incredibly empowering, isn't it? You don't have to worry about them being passive-aggressive or manipulative. You don't have to wonder if they're really being honest with you about what they want. Sigma females are direct and straightforward, and that's what makes them so captivating. They're not afraid to say no, and they're not afraid to set boundaries. They're not afraid to ask for what they want, and they're not afraid to take it. They're not worried about being liked or approved of because they know that their worth and value come from within. Men are drawn to Sigma females because they're tired of the games and the drama. They're tired of being around women who are afraid to express their desires and needs. They're tired of being around women who are passive-aggressive or manipulative. Sigma females are a welcome change from all that. They're easy to be around because they're direct and straightforward. They're not afraid to communicate their needs and desires, and they're not afraid to listen to others. They're not trying to control or manipulate others because they know that true power comes from within. But being unapologetic about one's desires and needs is not just about being confident and assertive. It's also about being vulnerable and open. Sigma females are not afraid to show their vulnerability and to express their emotions. They're not afraid to be weak and to ask for help. They're not trying to be strong and independent all the time, because they know that true strength comes from being able to ask for help when you need it. They're not afraid to be imperfect and to make mistakes, because they know that mistakes are an opportunity for growth and learning. In a world that's increasingly focused on people-pleasing and approval-seeking, Sigma females are a rare gem. They're a reminder that it's okay to express our desires and needs, and to ask for what we want. They're a reminder that true power comes from within, and that we don't have to seek validation from others. They're a reminder that vulnerability and openness are strengths, not weaknesses. So, if you're a Sigma female, don't be afraid to express your desires and needs. Don't be afraid to ask for what you want, and don't be afraid to take it. Your unapologetic desire will shine through, and men will be drawn to you like a magnet. Sigma females are not just captivating because of their unapologetic desire, but also because of their willingness to take risks and to challenge the status quo. They're not afraid to break free from societal norms and expectations and to forge their own path. They're not afraid to be different and to stand out from the crowd. They're not afraid to be bold and to take risks, because they know that true growth and transformation come from stepping outside of their comfort zone. And that's what makes them so attractive to men.